This is the Ferrari 612 Scaglietti. That's 6 litres, 12 cylinders, and a name that honours Ferrari's favourite coach builder. It costs £170,000, has got 540 horsepower, and will do a staggering 199 miles an hour.
It's the most expensive and most powerful new Ferrari you can buy today. But there's something about long bonnet Ferraris that means you just don't boast about the figures. They have a classier, more artful image. Sergio Scaglietti never designed with pen and paper. He preferred sculpting the metal by eye. And I think he'd be rather proud of the car that now bears his name, made in his old factory. The 612 is high-tech and hand-built. Despite being bigger than the 456 it replaces, the aluminium chassis and body means it's lighter. And if you're one of those super rich people interested in buying one,
like Jamie Oliver,
then you can have a tour to see your car being made before it's shipped down the road to the Maranello factory for an engine, paint and interior.
And the interior, well, it really spoils you. You can even choose what shade of aluminium you have. And then there's the custom Bose stereo. Well, I have to say, it is fantastic. We've got 3 speakers in the front, 4 in the rear, a bass box in the passenger footwell, and would you believe it, a subwoofer on the parcel shelf. However, 170 grand, well, it doesn't get you everything. Sat-nav is an option, as is the Bluetooth connection for your hands-free mobile.
The 612 is Ferrari's only 4-seater, and your mates will easily fit in the deep bucket seats. The big boot will swallow the leather-bound toolkit, the optional 2.5 grand's worth of Pininfarina-designed luggage, or Tiff's golf clubs. Probably mine as well. So, is this a GT in the traditional sense? Something designed for the very grandest of touring?
Now, I've been very lucky in that I've managed to drive lots of Ferraris and owned one a few years ago. And experience tells me that they all do your head in after maybe an hour or two in the car. You've really got to be in the mood to drive one. This, however, is a completely different experience. It's very relaxing, it's very refined. And one technology which adds to the overall driving pleasure is Ferrari's adaptive damping. Basically, the front wheel senses the bump and tells the rear wheels there's a bump coming. And that just makes the whole drive more relaxing, less clunky over these fairly large bumps we're going over now. You know, I can see myself doing 500-600 miles in this, maybe flying up the Autobahn to pick up one of the girlfriends.
But cruising might be only half the story. Because the engine is mounted so far back, most of the 612's weight is over the rear. A car with sporting pretensions.
Which means it's time to hit the sport button. Now what that does is it'll stiffen up the suspension a wee bit, it'll sharpen up the gear change, it'll also make the engine map slightly more aggressive for power delivery, but more importantly, it'll relax the traction control. Now I'm going to turn it completely off. However, if you're a football player or a TV chef, I suggest you leave that button on. When you start to let it off the leash, it's actually quite nimble. It doesn't really understeer, it's quite a neutral balance to the car. You can get the tail out if you want to be a bit saucy. But the best thing about any Ferrari is the engine. It's the heart of the car. It's a V12, it's super smooth, it's got bundles of power. Don't get much better than that.
The semi-automatic gearbox costs an extra 7 grand, yet has been specified by 90% of the buyers. It's perfect for gentle cruising, but when you're getting after it, I just don't like them.
They're just not my cup of tea. It does exactly what it's meant to do. It's a very quick change, but it's just not as precise as I want it to be. Sometimes I might want a very quick gear change, sometimes I might want a slow gear change, depending on what sort of corner I'm in. And this just doesn't give me the control that I need.
But that's not enough to put me off the car. Just see it as an opportunity to save £7,000 and have a manual. Although with an 18-month waiting list, you can't exactly rush out to the shops and get one tomorrow.
This is undoubtedly the Ferrari I want to spend most time with. It's so versatile. You can cruise by in a cocoon of luxury or grab it by the scruff of the neck and have some fun. But £170,000 is an awful lot of money. I'd love to own one, but I'd hate to pay for it.